Hey everybody, hope all is well. Hope you are enjoying your day, or will enjoy your day. So, look on the screen here. We have the show, Candy Show, and they are on a party bus. Okay, because they work in a restaurant. OLG. This is like her brother. The girl in the middle works at the restaurant, and this is also her boyfriend. And all of a sudden now I can only remember Chandrika's name. I forget her name. My bad. Anyway, here's what I wanted uh, to do a quick video on. If you will, please listen to this portion here. Okay? And before we get to the clip I want you to listen to, let's read this. It says, human behavior is learned. Thus, all behavior can be unlearned and new behaviors learned in its place. Behaviorism is concerned primarily with the observable and measurable aspects of human behavior. Therefore, when behaviors become unacceptable, they can be unlearned. So, what's going to tie it all in? So again, she's the girl, these two are a couple, and he's like a brother to the girl. And they're asking them pretty much, he wants to know, this young man here, it's like her big brother, they're just not biological. So he's asking this young man, her boyfriend, what his intentions are. Okay, so let's take just listen to this clip, and then I'll return with further commentary.
Life was crazy.
So, brother, do you approve of this?
Brandon, I think Brandon's really cool. He makes her very happy. I just want to know, like, what's your intention?
This is so deep.
Only thing in my mind is I'm ready to start, having a family and.
A family? Wait, hold on, wait. A family?
Do you guys feel like you're moving towards being equally yoked enough to have children?
We flirted with those conversations for sure.
I'm rooting for everybody black. That's right,
Hey, his last name is Black.
And your name is Black. Whoa!
I do see a future with Dom for sure. When I say future, I'm talking about the whole shebang. Wife, kids, home. Because I come from that. And that's what I want.
So, did you hear that? I'm going to play it one more time, the last part.
Work these legs.
I'm super excited about this London experience.
So
However,
let me go back.
I'm
Okay.
not really sure.
So the part I want to show you is that if you heard him say, he's talking about a family. Why? Because he comes from that. Okay? That's what he comes from. So he didn't say, oh, she can be one of my baby mamas and all that. No, he made it perfectly clear. His background, when he was asked that question, made it perfectly clear that he's looking for a future. He's looking for a wife. Why? That's what he comes from. So what does that tell you? A good example of behavior that is learned. And so is this one right here, the man in the blue. One more time.
Intention.
This is so deep.
Only thing in my mind is I'm ready to start, having a family and.
A family? Wait, hold on, wait. A family?
Do you guys feel like you're moving towards being equally yoked enough to have children?
We flirted with those conversations for sure.
I'm rooting for everybody black. That's right,
Hey, his last name is Black.
And your name is Black. Whoa!
I do see a future with Dom for sure. When I say future, I'm talking about the whole shebang. Wife, kids, home. Because I come from that. And that's what I want.
So that's what he comes from. And that's what he wants. Now, I'm not here to down baby mamas and all that. Don't even think that. Because in this community, that's the norm. The women are being, I don't want to say stuck, but they're having to deal with having the children and raising them physically and financially by themselves in most cases. So, when you say behavior is learned, don't forget, when behaviors become unacceptable, they can be unlearned. And that's why I come hard against the Dusties. You know, women, I understand being emotional. As I told one young lady, and I know she felt some kind of way, I said, listen, when you become with child with a man, and he doesn't even give you the option of marriage, he doesn't even ask. And because he asked doesn't mean you have to accept. I just told her. You don't have to guess. Well, maybe he's thinking, no. You don't have to guess when it comes to create the child. If he doesn't ask you to marry you then guess what? He's not thinking in that realm. You look up, you still hanging around. You've given birth, that child 6 months, 7 months, that child 5 years, and you still hanging around. Check out the person's background. Maybe that's what he's used to. Maybe that's what you're used to. People do what they want to do. Like this young man says, he's thinking about having a family. Okay? Having a family. They flirted with the idea about they've had conversations about it. That sounds like to me like planning. Sounds a lot like planning. So in our community, carrying the seed of poverty, we hoping and wishing and going to pray. We see where it's gotten us. And I think that kind of behavior, that is what needs to be unlearned. We see where it's gotten us. It's gotten us into more poverty. It's gotten us into crime. And it's like the good has suffered with the bad. And I hate to say it, it's so out of hand in Blackistan. The bad is killing the good. It's a black man like this here. Hate to say it. It's a black man like this here. He'll be doing things for his family. And before you know it, all it takes is a seed of poverty to come along and might try to steal from him or take his car. The same thing with women like this here. She's got her life. She wants to be a dancer. Then she does the bar thing at the restaurant. No children. I hope they do get married and it works out. Maybe kind of put off kids a little bit because having kids early in the marriage, some kind of can be a little bit more stressful. But he made it perfectly clear. That's how he grew up. That's what he wants. Why? That's what was put before him. So, if we're putting before our children all this negativity, dysfunction, broken homes, the mama is nothing, the dad is nothing, then you look like they go up in the same steps. Look at some people's lives. Over and over again, you're like, so here's a big mama, the mama, and now the daughter. All three end up being baby mamas. When I was younger, I didn't quite get it. But yeah, now it's not uncommon to think you can see 3 generations of women. And guess what? Not one woman ever been married. And kids to boot. Not one woman has ever been married. Not one woman has had the luxury of depending on a man. But you know what? They've got a man in their lives to get them pregnant. They have men in their lives that they have to cater to and even provide for. So sometimes people are like, oh, that's negativity. You always browbeating. Well, I tell you what, just keep them going in the wrong direction. Again, that's why we are where we are right now with this group collectively. We have to face it. If it's not working out, do something differently. Putting your head in the sand, I'm going to pray about it, has not helped anybody. A many mammy thought that, like the one that got her son out, $10,000 bond, should let them in there. Maybe if she did, still be here breathing. But we have to realize that certain behaviors in the community is just not working out. And when it becomes unacceptable, and a high rate of poverty to me is unacceptable. Communities full of crime is unacceptable. Putting children here that the man can't even afford to feed the child. Or maybe he doesn't want to feed the child. I'm sure he's somewhere eating. Unacceptable. You up in the store, you don't have $2 for a bag of chips. You're going to put your hands on somebody. And now look, that's the last time you're going to throw those hands. Unacceptable. So this is what he grew up with, and that's what he wants. That behavior is learned. It's been instilled in him. So I want to just kind of point that out. So the same thing on the opposite spectrum. If kids are growing up and they're just saying baby mama, baby daddy, and then it's like several people, you're like, oh my gosh, who's late and who's not? These men, 3 different baby mamas. She might have 2 different baby dads, might have 4 different baby daddies. The children are not just the world is watching, the children are watching. This is the world, and that becomes a norm. And so then when they grow up, they do that. And then somebody like me comes along. Oh, I know she did. Now, what is she talking about? Oh, I grew up that way. Are you insulting my mother? Oh my God. I'm trying to how did it turn out for you? Well, it was rough and it was hard. And that's what I'm talking about. It was rough and it was hard, but we love each other. Uh-huh. We got evicted. Uh-huh. What was the man at? We don't know. I can tell you he's not there because he doesn't care. So this here behavior is learned. What are we teaching our children? Behavior is learned. People can't, I don't care how many people are doing something, doesn't make it right. Sometimes there's a better way to do it. For all of us, myself included, could be anything, not just having a family, but in general, in business, in life. But I want to share that with you. I said, I can't wait to make her my baby mama, and we already know the dust buckets will call him a simp. Behaviors learned. Why the Dusty is like that? Because they come from the daddy was a Dusty. Mama probably a Mammy / Dustina. Behavior is learned. And that's what he saw growing up, and that's what he wants. That's how you can build. And when you're married, there are tax advantages, Well, there could be tax advantages. And I'm in no wise giving any financial or tax advice. Check with your accountant. So yeah, things like this here, behavior is learned. So the videos and hating each other, why these think about it, in the inner cities, why do you think all these young black men are so violent? You can look at one. Now let's be real. Especially if it's black on black. Another black person can look at one, he ready to shoot. He mean mugging me. Say something on Facebook, fools hop in a car, commit some kind of violence against each other. Why? Their behaviors learned. Hood behaviors learned. Hood behaviors learned. All behaviors learned. Like my homegirl I told you about in Alabama. All those black folks at the barbecue for the family reunion. She's not, I'm quite sure, the only business owner. So we're going to have family reunion together, eat together, go to church together, and all this. Yeah. When they come to making some money together, that behavior is learned. It made me think about other people. You think, I remember so-and-so had a business. Did anyone teach us? Well, my dad taught me that. But other than that, are we teaching our children, hey, let's promote each other in business? Knowing you have the highest unemployment rate, I'm just saying. No, that behavior is learned. The behavior is learned called, that person trying to have something. I don't have nothing. So I'm going to go over here and patronize somebody that doesn't look like me. That behavior is learned. Like people coming to the black community that are non-black, set up a shop, a business, make a lot of money. Why? Somebody before them probably did it. Sometimes the business can be inherited. Where it went down with George Floyd, that business there was inherited. The man, as I read about it, he gave it to his children. He created generational wealth in the black community. How many black people can do it? The behaviors learned not to promote entrepreneurship. The behaviors learned between the black business owner and the customers not to respect each other. But other folk, we sure know how to respect them. Or we're going to respect them, aren't we? We're going to respect them. Behaviors learned. So we can talk all day unless we make some changes and do what? When behaviors become unacceptable, they can be unlearned. Unless we're willing to do that, we're just basically just, I don't want to say, we're just basically throwing water in the wind. We're doing nothing. We're just going in circles. Going in circles. Get in your front yard, around your apartment complex, wherever you live, and just keep going in circles. We'll just keep on walking in the front yard in circles. When you going to leave? You're not going anywhere. Going in circles. And that's what we are. So I think it's time for, it'll be good for the group to do, sometimes have a family meeting. What's going on with your kid? The relationships, what's going on in society? What are they thinking? I think sometimes it's good to maybe just, I want to say intervention, but yeah, that's pretty much the word. Have an intervention. You can have that by yourself. What's working for you, what's not working. So what do? Is taking in all these dust buckets working for you? Sometimes it's supporting the mammy working for you. Well, that's what we're supposed to do, says who? You supporting the mammy and she's supporting the man. Oh, speaking of, see, that's the next video. You supporting the man, you supporting the man. Is that working for you? Is it working? Okay, and we are still doing that because what? That's what we're trained to do. So behaviors learn. But guess what? If it's not positive, we can unlearn it. So I want to go ahead and just do this clip. And I thought about that when I saw this. So let me know what you guys think. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share. I'm out.